You guys look like you were celebrating something. Is this too much to pry? Some nuptials? What is it? Nuptials, everybody. Let's give it up for it. Woo! Hell yeah. Congratulations. Congratulations. I don't know where your old lady is, but I'm going to be the first one to call her your old lady. Yeah.
Too late.
Too late. Anyways, yeah. But we do this every Monday. It's a place to experiment with jokes, goof around a little. There'll be a musical open mic to follow. So if you guys like music, stick around, play some tunes. Maybe you brought your guitar, you brought your bass. This is your adjustments, Jen. Oh, it's too loud, too quiet. I know. I get a little bit excited when I talk about this stuff too. I get fired up because we like to have fun. And something to bring up too. Well, first, before we bring up the pertinent events, let's give it up, everybody, for Crystal and Tawny behind the bar. You gotta love them, these beautiful ladies. They're our heroes helping us, so take care of them. Make sure you take care of them, show them the love. And who's in the kitchen? Is Chris is in the kitchen? Give it up for Chris cooking the food. Yeah. Love these guys and what they do. They've been putting up with us for a long time because what I'm getting at the announcement, this is the 100th week that we've done stand-up comedy here. So it's not new anymore, but it's not good anymore. We're still working on it. But don't worry, we're here. Woo, 100 weeks, baby. Yeah, 100, the big 100 centennial celebration, you know. But it's a fun time though. We do this, like I said, every week. You guys discuss amongst yourselves who the funniest is and make them go up. Who knows? I don't know. Or don't. Just to hang out and have fun. It's a great environment for this. We love to have a good time, you know. And we're glad you guys were here to join us for this monumentous occasion. It's convenient too, because 52 weeks in a year and all, we could be like, oh, it's the 100th time, and then in like 2 or 3 weeks, it's gonna be like 2-year anniversary. So we're really milking the shit out of this stuff right now. But it's fun. We have a good time together.
Any reason to celebrate.
Last week, my whole set was about how we've all bonded and become friends because we come here and do this together. It's a lovely, beautiful thing. And I couldn't be happier to be friends with you guys, so. But I wrote some stuff. There's a lot to follow here. It's a lot of complicated bullshit. But let's get right into it, I guess. Well, first, I guess a stupid question. Anybody ever been here before? Been here? You guys haven't? New first time? Don't fucking lie to me. Also, I love you, but don't fucking lie to me. You know what I mean? Tough love. I know you guys have been here, but if you've been here before, you know that this room can be kind of offensive and disgusting. It's a dive bar. It's not your fucking Taj Mahal church club or whatever. We're in here just telling dirty jokes. So you're gonna have to bear with. Maybe you should leave your kids and your sensibilities outside so we can just have a good time in here, because it will get crude. In fact, a couple weeks ago I got booed for a set about abortion, so we get pretty crude in here. It gets pretty rough. Yeah, it was a heavy session, but that's what I'm saying. I want you to take warning because this set is disgusting and offensive. Like so many of the other ones. So feel free too, there's no filter on anybody. You can do whatever you want up here. Well, let's take that with a grain of salt. But the root of the set though, I like to do it in the summer because I fucking sweat a lot. That's it, this is my set. I sweat a lot. I'm disgusting. I'm offensive. You might not want me to stand too close to your drink. I'm pretty sweaty. I sweat a lot. I've got mad drip. I call them pit stains. But I'm mad drip. And also, no cap. I don't. No. Exactly. I'm super trendy right now, you can tell. No cap and all that. Listen up, everybody. I sweat a lot. See, that's stupid. This is the summer, and that's when I sweat. And I sweat so much you'd think I'd be dehydrated, but it's fine. I drink a lot. It'll work itself out, trust me. But, and it's weird too, you would wonder how I could be so wet when my jokes are so dry, Exactly, it's an enigma, so to say. I'm up here, am I doing a, congratulations. Is it you that switched out of the dress? Congratulations. We were regaling about your nuptials and everything, very nice. Glad to spend your celebration with us. Hopefully we're not too offensive or disgusting. But Like I said though, am I going to do a set? Am I going to do a sweat? The first time I ever did stand-up comedy on this stage was the first time I'd ever done it, and I was just sweating profusely. Like you could see the moisture more so than now. It was really bad then, and it was the peak of August, so I get it. But it's a fun game. You can watch how much I sweat. You can play along, you know, and you can see if I think I'm doing good or not. You know, it'll be fun, at least for me. But that's the weird thing too. I sweat a lot, but I don't necessarily smell bad. It's just my jokes that stink. You know what I mean? Exactly. But I also have bad breath, so I guess that counts. You know, like basically the stuff coming out of my mouth is a bunch of stinky bullshit. So between the jokes and the breath. But don't worry, I have other bad qualities. I'm multifaceted, complex. You know what I mean? There's a lot to me. I burp, I fart, I drool, I have zits. You've heard my jokes. You know, there's a lot of ways I could clean up my act. It's true, you know. But this is who I am, you know. For instance, so like this is a good one. My mother's maiden name is Knight with a K, you know, Knight. So don't identity theft me. Actually, go ahead. I don't even, you know what I mean. I would love to give somebody all my debt. You know, you guys can have it. Be just for free. Anybody wants to take that on? But the truth is, like I said, my mother's maiden name is Knight, so I get the night sweats. It's a hereditary condition, you know, like the apnea and the tiny penis. You know, it runs in the family. So, oh yeah, but I was going to say, I'm like Sydney Sweeney. I have good genes. Like, whoa, touchy. Whoa, I know. Whoa. Fucking, that strike while the iron's hot. That's a fucking topical issue right now. Did that joke gland? Gland. That's where sweat comes from. Yeah, it did gland. That's the thing though, because sweat comes from a gland. It might be disgusting. There also is a potential to learn something. You know, you guys might learn something. You probably already knew that though, that sweat comes from glands. But something that maybe you didn't know was that hyperhidrosis is the term for excessive sweating. It's the medical term for excessive sweating. And it's caused by your brain misinterpreting signals, which just reminds me of like trying to flirt, you know, like misinterpreting signals. And that's what I'm saying. I can misinterpret signals in a lot of different ways. I'm multifaceted, complex, exactly. So we all have our strengths and weaknesses, you know. But I will admit too, there's some things about sweat that don't jive with me, and they kind of make me a little salty, I gotta admit. For instance, they say you sweat, your palms get sweaty so you get a better grip. I'm this sweaty, I can't fucking get a grip. You kidding me? They also say that you sweat to control your body temperature, and if you know me, you know I have no self-control. So, you know, and that's what I mean. There's sweat to body temperature. It's like trying to keep you cool. Clearly not cool, you know what I mean? So, plus they say sweat like a pig, which is bullshit because pigs don't even sweat. Like I said, there's potential to learn stuff. Pigs don't sweat. That's why they wallow. And I'll admit that I also wallow in depression, self-pity, things like that, you know what I mean? But that's what the pigs, they get in there because they can't sweat. So I think that's a load of shit. See, I'm losing my track. I got a lot of crap here. But that's what I mean. Yeah, pigs don't sweat. It's certain things that remind you of confusing ideas. For instance, maybe like a comforting ginger. What? You know, or maybe me having a dry armpit. Doesn't make sense. Or, you know, maybe Stephen Hawking trying to find the clitoris. He can't do it because he's dead. I know, exactly. Sad. No, too soon, everybody. Too soon. But I don't aspire to perspire. Yeah, I did say that. I just like to let things flow naturally. Kind of like my comedy. I'm up here. I'm pouring my heart out to you guys. You know what I mean? Hopefully it comes across that way. But so you can say that I'm putting my blood, sweat, and tears into this comedy, which unfortunately also sounds like my sex life. Blood, sweat, and tears. You know, it's kind of sad. But that's the thing. Sex sells. That's why I brought it up, because sex sells. And for instance, if I was up here in gray sweatpants, a lot of men and women would be paying closer attention to my set, right? It's true. It's true. You know, and you might see the real meat of my act, you know. But they said I can't do that anymore. I'm not allowed. If I do that again, I'm gonna be 86th. So I'm trying to keep it together for you guys.
86 or 69?
Oh man, if I 69 again, they're gonna 86 me too. I mean, they won't let me do any number games, which is a real shame. Also, as long as, ooh, that'd be sexy. Also, though, I want to bring up that Prince wrote a song called Black Sweat. I don't think I'm allowed to joke about that, so we're gonna move on. But it is about sex. Also, Keith Sweat, he wrote songs about sex too. So something about sex and sweat. And I get it, sex is a sticky subject, you know, and it might make you a little clammy to talk about. Welcome, welcome, oh, it's Dagan. We love Dagan. Give it up for Dagan, everybody. Woo! Fuck yeah, love that guy. Anyways, moving on. What do we got here? We got more bullshit. Oh yeah, I was gonna say this is where the set gets really gross. I warned you guys in the beginning about your sensibilities and your kids. So get them outside because I sweat a lot in the bedroom. This whole set came from this premise. That well, we'll get into it. You'll see what I mean. First off, I talked about liking to make a joke during sex. Remember that recently? I was like, I like to crack a joke. It cuts the tension. It makes you stay present. It's a real connection thing you can do in the bedroom. Crack a joke. For instance, I might say, I'll be sweating on the girl. I'm sorry, you know. And then I'll woo!
Hey, we got a fan.
Troubles a brewing. Lucas. Anyways, like I said though, like I'll be sweating on her and I feel bad, so I'll say something like, "Is it raining in here?" You know what I mean? She might crack a little laugh, it's a little tension cutter, it's fun. But I'm thinking stuff like, oh, the weatherman called for increased moisture as things heated up. You know, the precipitation going to be a downpour. I lied, I wasn't thinking any of that stuff. I made it up later. I was too focused in the moment, you know what I mean? You're not thinking of all that shit. That's why it's hard to make even a joke, because you're so focused on what you're doing. Which is good. You want to be a caring lover, I get it. But, yeah, see, there's a bunch of shit in here, too. Also, I knew it was bullshit, and I made it up because weatherman, they don't exist anymore. And it's only women now, or your app on your phone. So, which is okay, I don't mind. Plus, I don't have a joke planned, but those fucking Hispanic weather women, are you kidding me? Yeah, you know what I mean. If anybody has seen that, you know exactly what I mean, so it's a good thing.
I always ask her to point stuff out.
I'll watch it whether or not, you know what I mean? But anyways, that's what I was saying. I told you it was going to get gross, I warned you. So things are heating up. I'm sweating on this girl that I'm in the bedroom with. And it's going in her face, and her eyes, and her mouth. And this is not the only salty discharge that we'll be making that trip. I made that up too. That's bullshit. Most women are not into it, and I'm respectful of that. I really don't actually do that. But it's fun to joke about. For instance, a friend of mine, Travis, you know Dan. You remember Dan?
Oh, yeah.
Dan Simpson. He told me a legendary old story about a trick shot. He called it a trick shot. I know it's gross, but I heard it and I thought it was funny. I'm going to pass it on to you guys. He says, you're giving it to the girl, like a traditional missionary, some kind of a style like that, and you pull out and you shoot onto her face from where you're at. Half court shot, that's what he called it. I know it's disgusting, but it's kind of silly. Come on.
That's why we're laughing.
Well, you laugh because you're like, that just happened. That's why we're laughing. Embarrassing. But, yeah, that's what I was saying. So I started thinking I wanted to invent my own trick shot. So I was going to do half court behind the back, which clearly you have to be doing it doggy style. You know what I mean? That's where we're going to begin. But then you got to get, how does this happen? You got to get her attention. You got to get her to look back. So you say something like, diaphoresis is the medical term for excessive sweating. And when she goes, what? Boom, you get her right then. You know what I mean? Because you know she's going to fucking ask, what the fuck are you talking about? Total setup. I felt bad about it, but it's, anyways, moving on. I know that's all conjecture. None of that actually happened, so we're just goofing around. Maybe you could think of a fun trick shot, do it in your set. Joke challenge. But let's see, where are we at here though? Yeah, also, do you guys dirty talk in the bedroom? Anybody want to vouch and say they do? Any dirty talkers? Nice. Because sweat is gross, it's dirty, and we're talking about it right now. Are we doing dirty talk? Are you turned on, baby? Ooh, baby. No, I'm feeling aroused. Anyways, yeah, the sweatpants thing, thank God. I'm telling you, 86, I would have been out of here, I told you. So there's problems though. Oh yeah, I missed this other part too, because I missed it. It said, oh fuck, this says, things are heating up. I'm seeing visions in her sweat lodge, and her sweat box is torturing me. I know it's disgusting, but I couldn't pass up a sweat lodge joke. And I was like, oh, you don't get a chance. You're never going to get a chance. You know, I dream of things like that.
Doesn't come up every day.
Yeah, well, you know, one step at a time. But, so like I said, I sweat a lot during sex, and it's more than rain. I like to say it's a monsoon or a hurricane because I'm hoping there's some blowing going on, you know what I mean? But I'm never good with the weather, so. But that's the thing, I'm sweating a lot on this, I'm drowning this poor woman. I feel guilty, you know what I mean? A lot of sweat. I'm fucking waterboarding this woman, I feel terrible. Seriously, man, I'm sweating on her so much, it's like, I'm like, you like that? And she's like, I'll tell you anything you want to know. Like, she's fully like submitting, you know? And it's weird too, because I've been with girls who like to be choked in the bedroom. And if you like to be choked, you should try waterboarding. It's way more intense, and it will get you wet. I guarantee it will get you wet. So, but that's the truth though. We finished. She survived. It's fine. And I was like, sorry, I was so sweaty. And she's like, don't sweat it. You know, she didn't make her mind. And that's it for me. Thanks for listening to my comedic discharge. Appreciate you guys. Comedic discharge. I know that's disgusting. Like I said too, I'm sweaty as fuck right now. I really am. You're supposed to write about what you know, and I'm sweating like a pig right now. I don't even know where I put the mic stand.
They like sweat through their mouths like dogs.
I think they just wallow to cool down. I don't know. They probably would have to pant or pee or something. They'd have to do something. Maybe